Hey, what is up YouTube? We are back with another video of me in my drum room talking to you guys, just talking to the camera, relaying a story, best, worst, funniest gig story, or something I learned at jazz school, something along these lines. A little bit different on this one. I had Springy. Yes, this one's for you, Springy. Reach out, long-time supporter of the channel. Wrote on my previous one of these. I'm sure you told this one before. I probably have. Probably mentioned that previous story a million times. A couple of other personal things which I won't read out. And then how about going the other way and giving us a success story? Like one little victory which boosted your morale, confidence, perhaps, to show both sides of the coin. Peace and love as always. Oh, and a few other nice comments which I won't get into, but I thought that was an interesting topic, and I certainly didn't want to go all dark and negative on the channel. I thought, it's a bit more relatable and fun and easy to talk to you guys about times I've failed, because I'm probably not going to come off as a bragging about stuff that's happened that I was really proud of. But yeah, there's been loads of wins. The bad stuff stands out, and it's really memorable because it's either bad or embarrassing, or if you get burnt at a gig or at music school, it's memorable in that way, in that you learned a lot from it. And I don't want to do that again. I don't want to go through that again. So you buck up your ideas. So I was thinking before about a time where, it was a clear win, and I've never, I don't think I've ever told anyone this, but years and years ago, well before I went to music school, when I was just casually playing, I was working as a courier for FedEx actually, and I wanted to be a full-time pro drummer, but I wasn't anywhere close. And I'd gotten my hands on some type of book. I don't even remember what the book was, but it was all about goal setting and how to get to where you want to. And for some reason, I'm not a massive reader. I certainly wasn't then. I wasn't a particularly good student or anything. And but for some reason, this book stuck, and maybe I was a little bit stuck in my job, and I decided to take the advice of this book. So what I did, basically, it sort of instructed you to just write down everything you want to do, and don't worry about whether you think it's achievable. That's not really the point of it. Just write down what you want to do. I don't know, astronaut, or I don't know. It could be crazy, it could be outlandish or very incredibly difficult. Doesn't matter. Don't limit yourself. Just let yourself go and write it all down. So I did that, and all my goals were very drum related at that point, even though I wasn't playing basically at all. And I can tell you, everything I wrote down on that day, on that page, came true. When I wrote it down, there was no way I thought they were going to come true. Mad. And I talked to Benny Greb on the podcast, NZ Drummer Podcast. Thanks for asking. Talked to him about this, and he called writing things down a superpower. And I agree with him. So to be specific, one of the things on there, one of them was to even get a jazz degree, which was outlandish for someone who's working as a courier and who's can't even read music. So and it happened, which is amazing. But one of the things, I got really specific on these goals too. One of them was, I want to play in a cruise ship show band in the Caribbean. It was literally that specific. And I don't know what you might think of that, whether you've been on cruises. It probably, to be honest, wouldn't be one of my things now. If I was making a new list, it wouldn't be on the list now, to be completely honest, but it was then. I don't know why. I just thought that would be something fun to do, and yeah, I thought that would be a good idea. Something good to do with good skills on the drums that you might have got from somewhere like music school. So, cut a long story short, one of the I don't even know what you'd call them, like a rep from Carnival Cruise Lines came out to New Zealand for the first time, and normally they did their auditions over the phone, believe it or not. So you would call, leave the phone off the hook, good old landline, leave the phone off the hook and play and go through the audition material. Anyway, I send in an application before the audition, and they said the application was good, and yep, we'll meet you for the audition. Not many people made it through the application phase, so I was like already like, oh cool, this is looking good. Got no idea, you know, what it could lead to or where I could end up playing in the world or anything like that. But basically we do the audition and I just nailed it. It was just awesome. Every little thing, cool. Had to memorize a tune with a whole bunch of hits and got that. And then I think I had to sight read 2 charts that he just gave me on the day, and I sight read those. They were fairly easy. And he was really blown away, and he during the audition he jumped up on the piano in one of the songs and started taking a solo. It was awesome. So I thought, when he jumped up and started jamming with me, I thought, yeah, I got this. And this is where things get spooky. So I thought, oh, this is going pretty well. And he said, man, that's one of the best auditions I've done for a drummer. What do you want to do? And I said, oh, well, I don't know. I mean, I don't know what there is to do. What are the options? He said, look, we have what we call a 2.0 band, which is essentially a covers type gig where you do perhaps 4 sets of covers tunes in a night, you know, probably 6, possibly even 7 nights a week on the ship. So I was like, okay, well, yeah, it's not bad. I do covers anyway. And the other option was show band, which is going back to my piece of paper of, you know, one of my goals. So I said, oh, I like the idea of show band. And he said, well, yeah, show band, it's a lot different. You need a wider skill set. There's a lot of sight reading, a lot of different styles, Latin and Caribbean type music perhaps, and on top of covers and, you know, the Motown and literally doing theatre productions in the theatres of the ship. That was a little bit more sort of along the lines of what I had done. So yeah, to cut a really long story short, he just said you could do either of those. And he sort of hinted that, you know, with the skill that I had, with the reading and all that kind of extra sort of stuff, you may as well go for a show band. You may as well do a show band. And I said, oh, well, man, show band sounds amazing. You know, when are we going to hook this up? And, you know, where do we go? And he said, you can go anywhere you want in the world. And I said, thinking back again to this bit of paper, can I go to the Caribbean and play in a show band? And he said, yeah. And that's what I did. So that's my story. And I could give you a bunch of these. I made a whole list of things on that bit of paper years and years ago. And, you know, a lot of them weren't as spectacular as I'd made them out to be in my mind. And, you know, I did some of the things on that list and I was like, huh, okay. I just did it. It was just a natural evolution by that point. And then others were just like, I can't believe I am playing here and doing this with these musicians. But it was spooky. how everything on the list happened. And yeah, if you've made it to the end of this video, my hope for you is that if you've got stuff that you really want to do in life or with your drumming or career or whatever, write it down. It's a little bit of a magic trick. Anyway, that's my positive story for you, Springy. Hope you dug it. Take care. Till the next time. Ciao.